Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are tuned in to the Lion's Den, the official source for UCCS Sports. I'm your host, MJ Arjamandi, alongside my partner in crime, once again, Martin the Hippie Hines. Mr. Hippie, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good.
How's the show going to be, man?
Well, we'll see.
Is it going to be good?
I hope so.
You damn Skippy Hippie.
Yeah.
That's right. Martin, how was your weekend, bud?
It was good. I know you don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to throw it in real quick.
What?
The U.S. Open. Watched that.
Tennis?
Andy Murray, first Englishman since 1936. Actually, he's from Scotland. But first guy from the United Kingdom to win a Grand Slam. And then Serena, in her typical fashion, drama, she wins.
Drama.
But, I watched that.
That's so uncharacteristic for a girl sport.
Yeah. No, I mean, she's a little fun to watch. But anyway, we'll get that out of the way. Tennis is done.
So we covered tennis.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can move forward in the
yes.
show knowing we covered one of the biggest tennis events.
That's right.
Year. Okay.
And we watched football.
I'm okay with
I'm
that.
sure you watched football.
Oh.
I'm sure you watched it last night.
I don't know if I really want to discuss football today.
That got knocked off your agenda last night, huh?
Well, that was going to be a high priority on the show, and then I actually watched.
You know what? You guys would have been okay if you didn't have your long snapper hurt.
You know what? It's unbelievable how much that one player made a difference. Not a quarterback, not a receiver, not a running back, a snapper.
Would you agree with me that the long snapper is probably the most underrated player on a football team?
I think he ranks right up there after what I saw last night. If we have a snapper, that's a whole nother game. We're talking about the Raider game, for those of you who are...
The Raiders.
Who don't know, I'm a Raider fan.
The Raiders.
Yeah, now I'm going to get death threats all day long. That's all right.
I got your back.
You got my back, Martin?
Yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan, so
you're
take
used to it too.
Broncos fans, eat it.
Well, Bronco fans have a lot of room right now to brag.
Yes, they do.
Peyton looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Peyton looked like Peyton.
And he beat the vaunted Steeler defense, which is good. He handled Troy Polamalu pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, the hair had no answer for Peyton this week.
The hair.
You know, I saw a great headline over the weekend, and I really thought this emphasized what happened. It said, "Who needs luck when you got Peyton?" Because the Colts drafted Andrew Luck, and we're banking on him being their guy. And the Broncos are saying, "Who needs luck when you got Peyton?" And that's the truth. I mean, Peyton played like Peyton. Peyton played like Manning.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's honestly not what I wanted to see, but I saw it.
Yes.
And we'll get to that a little bit more. But we got a full slate on today's show.
As always.
As always,
yes.
Absolutely. But quite possibly the busiest week of the entire UCCS athletic calendar.
Yeah, so hold on, fans out there who want to hear us talk about regular sports stuff. But you know what? Our first priority... First and foremost, because we are the source.
We're the official source.
The official source.
For not pro sports, for UCCS sports.
That's right.
We're the official source for UCCS sports. And we want to cover those as in-depth as we can and give you every bit of inside information that we have access to, which is a lot. So we're going to give it all to you today. So today, again, a full show, as always, but we're going to cover a lot. We got the Rust Buster, the 5th annual cross-country meet that UCCS hosts every year, was held this past weekend.
Stop mentioning Rust Buster because I'm getting hungry.
Rust Buster. You're always
I think
hungry,
Dairy
Martin.
Queen. I am.
Martin, you're always hungry.
That's right.
So we're going to cover the Rust Buster. Then we're going to cover the Mountain Lion Invitational. UCCS hosted a volleyball tournament this weekend as well.
And all the UCCS teams are kicking butt right now.
You know what? It's a good time to be a fan of UCCS sports. I gotta say that. It really is. We're doing really well. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan, because I go to school here. Because a couple of years ago, I would have been the first one to tell you our teams suck. Because they did. And now we don't. Now we're good.
Yeah, and I don't mean to get you off track here, but I did run into the chancellor, and I called her out. I said, "You need to come on our show." And she said, invite me in, send me an email, I'll come down here.
So you heard it right there.
That's right.
From the Hippie Hines. our chancellor, Pamela Shockley-Zalabach, is going to join us in studio at some point this semester. She's a huge sports fan, and she's doing a lot right now to get things moving on a brand new sports complex down at Four Diamonds at the end of North Nevada. It's going to be phenomenal. I've seen some blueprints of it, and we're really stepping our game up, and it's because of our wonderful chancellor who loves UCCS sports. So it's great to have the support of somebody like the chancellor, and if she can come on our show and support that, that would be even better.
I know another side note here, but I had class with her. Now, we had two games.
Well, not together. She was your professor, right?
Yeah.
It's not that you were classmates.
That's right. Okay. Well, I mean, we're not that far apart.
That would be interesting.
But the thing is that we had two Monday night football games, and you could not, I mean, just watching her, she was ready to get out of there. Like, she loves football. She wanted to get out and go watch the games.
As professional as she is and how dedicated she is to teaching and her professorship, that's how big of a football fan she is.
Yes.
And that's why UCCS remains undefeated in football to this day.
And that is why. That is correct.
That is why. Well, again, on today's show, a lot of UCCS sports to cover. We're going to cover the Mountain Lion Invitational. We're also going to get to some golf because UCCS was at the Air Force Academy Invitational yesterday and the day before, and that tournament is all finalized now. Results are in. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to some soccer because soccer's doing really good. We had a few wins over the weekend. And guess what, Martin? We're undefeated. Women's soccer, undefeated. Just like football, women's soccer football, undefeated too.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I had an idea with 6 home games to start the season, and the team, you just had a good feeling that they were going to do well.
You know what? And this just in, literally, on my phone, on a text message from the sports information director here at UCCS, and it says, and I quote, this just in, women's soccer is ranked 4th in the region.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
As of today.
That
right. Just happened. Right now. I just got this text message.
See how important this show is?
That's right. That's how live we are.
Up to date.
To the minute. Absolutely. Well, Martin, we're going to get to that, and we're going to get to a lot of other things here today. But up next on the show, our own resident expert in interviewing, Martin Hines, who comes to us once again from the Gazette, sports writer, former sports writer of the Gazette, sat down with Mark Mish and David Harmer from the track teams.
Cross country
teams. Yeah.
That was a bad accent there,
yeah,
but
it was. But we're gonna hear a much better one when David Harmer comes on the show, because his accent is pretty legit. You know, last week we had New Zealand on the show. This week we're gonna have Britain on the show. We're international.
Yeah, we have
For
an international
those of you who don't know,
flair.
the Lions Den is international. We're going to show you that in just a little while. As we bring you the coaches from the cross-country teams, Mark Mish and David Harmer, and they're going to join us for an interview that Martin conducted before the season started and got their feelings on the upcoming seasons and how the teams are faring in comparison to everybody else. So we're going to get to that in just a few minutes as soon as we get back from break. But before we go, it is September 11th, so in honor of that, we would like to play the America the Beautiful, sung by Ray Charles. It's a beautiful rendition, and we really want to honor, you know, all of our fallen officers and civilians from 9/11. Martin, I'm sure you remember where you were the day that all that happened. It's one of those moments in your life I don't think anybody will ever forget. And I remember after 9/11 happened, watching the very first sporting event. After that, a few days later, everything was put on hold for a few days. But a few days later, I watched the very first sporting event, and they played America the Beautiful. And I remember the chills that were sent up and down my spine at that moment. And for whatever reason, the song has kind of stuck with me ever since then. And it's a beautiful song. It always has been.
Yeah.
But since 9/11, since I heard that song, just chills up and down my spine. So just to remember that moment, because it is 9/11, such a historic moment in the history of America, we're just going to play America the Beautiful and have a little moment of silence in respect of all of those fallen.
Oh, beautiful, far heroes prove. yourself. Yeah, country loved. And mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refined, till all success be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beauty far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see,
I love you, America, too. And I love Ray Charles as well. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Ray Charles.
You like Ray Charles?
Can't beat that.
You can't beat that. Once again, you are tuned in to the Lions Den, the official source for UCCS Sports. And we are going to jump to an interview that Martin conducted with head coach Mark Mish and David Harmer for the cross-country teams. They're the head coaches of the men's and women's team. And Martin caught up with them a little before the season started and kind of displayed why he used to be a writer for the Gazette Sports. So we're going
Used to write, not radio personality, so
Hey, that's okay. I think we're doing good.
yeah.
Every week, I think we're getting better and better. So we're going to jump to that interview and listen to what the head coaches had to say about the upcoming track season, which right now is in full stride as we just hosted the Rust Buster. And I know, Martin, you're getting hungry, but we got to talk Rust Buster a little
Dairy
bit more.
Queen.
It's early, I know. It's breakfast time. But we got to talk Rust Buster. But before we get to that, we got to talk Mark Mish and David Harmer.
I'm Jared Verner, Sports Information Director at UCCS, and you're tuned into the Lions Den.
radio.uccs.edu.
All right, you're listening to UCCS and the Lions Den, and I'm here with head coach of the men's cross country team, Mark Mish. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
And I'm also we're also joined in studio by David Harmer, sorry, with the girls cross country team, and welcome to the Lions Den.
Thank you.
So, guys, kind of give us fill us in about how the men's and women's cross country team, the programs work overall, and then kind of give us a preview on the past seasons and what we expect to see this season. David, why don't you go ahead?
Well, this is our 6th year. Mark and I coaching at UCCS, working with the cross country and track teams. Guys team in the last few years, 2008 and last year in 2011, qualified for the NCAA championships. So that was a great achievement for our program and the school. And last year they were actually the only program that went to the national championships in our whole department. So, that's a great honor for us to lead the athletic department as a whole. Like I said, the men's team in the last few years have done really well, and Coach Mish will speak a little bit more about those guys. And it's been a building process for both teams since 2007. And the guys are in a really good position now where they, perennially look to qualify for the national championships. That's the standard they've kind of attained. This is my first season with the ladies team, the women's cross-country team at UCCS, and we'd probably say that they're about a year or so away from where the guys are right now. They're in a kind of building stage, and we have some big expectations for them this fall. Last year they were 8th in conference and 11th in the region. But the squad last year was pretty small, and so we had to be a little bit more conservative with training and racing. And this year we have a great squad. We have 16 girls. We brought in 8 new girls, transfers, and freshmen, and that's going to really increase the quality, in one season. And on the women's side, it's a shorter race distance. They race 6 kilometers, which is only 1 kilometer more than in high school. So for those of you not on the metric system, that's about 4 miles.
Okay.
And the guys actually race championship distance is 10 kilometers, which is just over 6 miles. So that's double what they run in high school. So for guys, it's a big transition. And it takes the guys a little bit longer to adjust if you're a true freshman as your 18-year-old coming in. Whereas the ladies, you can, if you have freshmen or transfers coming in, they can adjust pretty quickly because it's only 1 kilometer difference. That's just over half a mile difference from what they ran in high school. So on the ladies' side, you can make big changes within a couple of years, and we're hoping for that this fall.
Okay. And Coach Mish, fill us in on the men's a little bit more from your perspective.
Coach Harmer, kind of shared that one of the biggest differences is probably just the racing distance they compete at. And so we do have a little bit of a bigger men's team. We have 23 guys, and that includes some of our fellows that are more focused on, say, the 800 meters, middle distances, and track as well. And so we've got a little bit of a wider range of guys on the squad. But as Coach commented, we've returned a pretty strong team coming in this year, had some high expectations, and hope to build on some success of the past, and I think we're in a position to do that. We've got some really good upperclassmen. Guys have got a lot of experience racing at both regionals and national championships, and such as kind of comes with the territory. I think that over the years the program has evolved, and one thing we're excited about obviously is, as Coach Harmer alluded to, the women's side has taken some really big steps. And one reason this year we decided to kind of go in the direction we have with Coach Harmer focusing on the women, and I'm working with the guys squad just because our numbers are pretty big. We have almost 40 kids between the two, which is a pretty big group, and you can do a lot better job coaching when you're focused on a specific group of people. But we compete in the best Division II conference in the country, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, for our sport. There's been more national championship teams on both the men and women's side come out of our conference than all the rest of the conferences combined. I mean, can't even match what has been out of our conference since it's been Division II, which I think was 1992. So the standard is very high. The running culture is very strong in Colorado and the rest of our conference. So it's always a tall order, so it takes a special kind of person to realize that they might not be a big fish in a small pond. If they can handle that and still keep focused on the big picture of having the opportunity to make it to the national championships. And so we're excited about that. And like I said, Coach Harmer's done a great job with our women. We had a pretty inexperienced group last year, but they actually walked away into the season was on a real positive, and I think they've built on that now. Certainly added some high quality athletes to that. So both sides, we're really looking forward to the year, and we've got some neat meets coming up. We're looking forward to hosting the conference meet for the first time ever, school history of the Rocky Mountain Championships, and in Colorado Springs, and so we're doing a lot of work on that. It's October 20th, and then we also host a regular season meet on September 8th, both at Miami Valley Park. It's a chance for our young people to run at home, friends and family, and the rest of the team there to support them. So that's kind of the things coming up, and our regional championships, which is what it takes to go to the nationals. That's in Denver in November, and then nationals is in Missouri, November 17th.
Talk about some of the standouts from last year, and who may surprise us this season.
Well, one of the things about the sport of cross country is, even though obviously you want to have some people that are really good, but the key is that you need to have a lot of depth. When you get down to it at your championships, a team has 7 people will compete for you, and the top 5 people across the finish line for you. Whatever place they get, they add the scores, and so obviously the team with the lowest score wins. But the guys in 6th and 7th are very important, whoever they may be on the day, because they still in a position that they're pushing the score up higher if guys finishing behind them that may be in the top 4 or 5, for another school. So our program is really built on that kind of mentality that every man counts, because we don't have a superstar, but we have a lot of guys that are very similar in ability and fitness level, and they know that at any given time they could be the difference maker for us, and they have been, and that came into play last season, our regional meet, where the 2 top guys we had returning from the year before, one was really, he came back from surgery and really wasn't a factor, and then the other one really struggled down the home stretch and almost didn't finish the race. And so that's the key, is that you really have to have a lot of guys that are quality and in a position to contribute. Probably our top guy returning would be Mike English. He's a senior. He was 47th at the national championships a year ago, so he missed All-American by 7 spots and 15 seconds, which isn't a heck of a lot in a 10K cross-country race. And then we've got a really good group that's right there. So there really isn't a lot of separation between a lot of them. I mean, I couldn't begin to tell you sitting here on August 20th who our 7 guys are going to be in November, and that's a good problem to have. So, but their expectations are very high, and they've been not shy about sharing that. And every day of practice, that's what they talk about. And so I'd be remiss to say that we are, you realize when you've been coaching long enough that it's not every season that the pieces are all there and the opportunities on the plate, and you got to go get it. So I think they know what's there, and they want to be one of the best. And there's 270 odd Division II teams in the country, and once you're getting up there, towards the top end, it's not a lot separating some of those teams. A good day to an average day, I guess.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for coming in, and let me. Did you want to kind of follow up on that point real quick?
Sure. Yeah. On the women's side, we really our top 3 girls that kind of interchange between being our top girls last year in the fall in different races were Ashley Benfield, Sam Bauer, and Veronica Sandoval, and all of those athletes have had some injury problems, not really problems, but issues, just minor injuries over the last kind of 12 months, and so some of them are redshirted, some of those have sat out track season to get ready for this fall, and that's really helped them prepare over the summer a little bit more, where at this point in the season they're as fit as they've ever been. So those girls, along with Madison Neers coming back, she redshirted last year, and they've been looking great in training so far. And like I mentioned earlier, we have 8 new girls on the team, so they're really trying to find their feet right now. Some of them are transfers with a lot of experience, but again, new location, new school. It always takes a while to settle in, and they've done a great job so far with training and preparation, and we're getting ready to leave on our team camp at the end of this week. And that'll be a good chance for us to kind of bond a little bit more and become a team and discuss some of our goals for this fall.
Okay, well, Mark Mish and David Harmer, thank you for coming into the Lions Den, and we hope to have you on during the season for coach's spotlight, and have some of the athletes come in as well. So thanks for coming on.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
radio.uccs.edu.
Yo, after the night.
All right. I'm so hip. Okay. Well, we are back.
Get him, Martin.
And,
That's the hippie.
you know, that, my interviewing skills I need to dust that off a little bit.
Hey, that's why you worked for the Gazette right there. We just saw the skills that made you famous.
You know what? I wrote I typed stuff up. That doesn't affect how I ask questions, obviously. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Right now, we're going to move on to our segment of the week, the Shining Lion of the Week.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's right. The most outstanding athlete. So who would that be this week?
Well, last week, it was Hannah Levette. She was our very first Shining Lion ever here on the Lions Den.
And she has continued to be outstanding.
You see what it means to be a Shining Lion?
Yes.
Not only do you perform well the previous week, but you perform well the next week.
But
she got 2 goals the
That's
week
right.
that we named her Shining Lion. And you know what? She did it again last week.
That's right.
But-
So, it had to be an even greater performance this week to be named
That's
Shining
right.
Lion.
For somebody to beat that, it had to be great. And we got somebody who is great.
All right, so tell us who it is.
Well, it's none other than Emilio Trujillo.
Oh, okay.
From the cross-country team. He participated in the annual Rustbuster event. I know you're hungry. There goes the stomach growling again. He participated in the annual Rustbuster event, UCCS's annual cross-country meet this past Saturday, and Emilio Trujillo won the event.
He won the whole
He
thing.
beat everybody, every single person in the event. And there was a lot, Martin.
I got to tell you, that's good that we had. Now, that's our own tournament, right? That's our own
yes,
tournament.
that was
So we had the home
UCCS's
field advantage in a way.
Well, it's kind of cheating, I guess.
I
but
don't know. I think his efforts, though.
That's
were-
why the Broncos won, because they had home field advantage. And that's why Emilio Trujillo won, because he had home field advantage.
Yeah. Okay, I like your reasoning.
I mean, does that sound right?
Sure.
Okay,
We'll go-
well, out of
we'll go with
100 racers,
Wow, 100.
100 runners, he beat everybody, and he won by over 7 seconds. That's a lot. That's a big differential when you're running track, cross country. That's a
yeah,
lot.
that is a lot.
That-
7 seconds.
That's a
I
lot.
mean-
So he is our Shining Lion of the week, and he is from Colorado Springs, Colorado. So he's a native of Colorado Springs. He went to Kansas State last year, so he's from KU.
Oh,
That's big
so
time.
He's got some.
That's big time, Martin.
Yeah.
That's
he's
that's Division 1.
yeah. He's serious.
He's
okay.
Yeah, he's making
He's got some mad
reputation.
Some mad skills.
Yeah, if you Google Emilio Trujillo, he's actually the guy that comes up. You know, sometimes if you Google a name, 1 million people come up.
I do
and it's
that
not-
a lot.
Yeah, and I bet you Martin, the hippie Hines, isn't the first one that comes up.
No.
I bet it's not you.
Not even close.
But when you type in Emilio Trujillo, it is him. So that's how good he is.